Yo, it's your boy Prince Patel, and I'm back for another episode of Prince Patel Speaks. And I'm going to give you guys a review on the Amir Kell Brook undercard. Alright, let's start with the big guys. Let's start with the Olympic bronze medalist in Fraser Clark. He fought a guy, I don't remember his full name, but his name was called Jake something. His second name began with D. Interesting facts about this matchup. This Jake fella asked his manager after going to the public workout with Amir Kell Brook if he could get him tickets to watch the fight. The event had sold out in 10 minutes, so obviously it would have been virtually impossible to find him tickets. So when his manager approached the promoter then told him, well, we could get him tickets, but he's got to fight Fraser Clark. Now, Fraser Clark is an Olympic bronze medalist in the super heavyweight division. He shouldn't be fighting guys making their debuts who are just happy just to be there to watch Amir Kell Brook. Now, obviously, that's a great matchup, Amir Kell Brook. A lot of people would like to be there, hence why it sold out in 10 minutes. But to then have to fight an Olympic bronze medalist who's been on the GB setup for so long, to me, it's just pointless. He turned up, took a beating, got to watch Brook. It's a win-win for some people. But I had a little twist spat with people about this because they were telling me it's not his fault that he had a last-minute replacement. If you're fighting on a pay-per-view as big as Amir Kell Brook, you should have an opponent sorted weeks before. You shouldn't be trying to get opponents on lastminute.com where they've not trained and they're incapable of putting on a performance. They should have had this opponent covered. Yeah, it was pretty poor, that. Very poor. And to be honest, the thing is I know it's his debut and people are going to say, well, it's his debut, leave him alone. He's supposed to fight. You're supposed to fight guys that you should be able to beat on your debut. I agree with that. But I think he's 31 years old. He's born in 1991. He's an Olympic bronze medalist. He boxed in the World WSB, which is the World Series boxing. Yeah, he boxed in the WSB, which is, for those of you who don't know, it's 5 rounds, no head guard, no vest, similar to a professional format, except you're doing it with the elite amateurs worldwide. He was a part of that setup. I just think at the age of 31, Olympic bronze medalist, he needs to be trying to push his career forward and have meaningful fights rather than fighting a geezer who's just happy to take a beating so he can watch Brook. Alright, what other fights happened on the card? To be honest, I wasn't really impressed with the undercard. There was no real, in my opinion, proper fights. There was an English title fight, which was decent. An English title fight at super middleweight. That was a decent matchup, decent performance by both guys. There was a female world title fight with Natasha Jonas against, I don't know, the girl was from Uruguay, I think, but I don't know her name. I didn't actually watch the fight, but what I will say is I don't think that Natasha Jonas deserved an opportunity to fight for a world title, especially in the weight she did fight it at. She's usually a super feather / lightweight. She got an opportunity at super welterweight, which is, for those of you who don't know the weight divisions, it will go super feather, lightweight, super lightweight, welterweight, and then super welterweight. She fought super welterweight, so effectively she jumped up 3-4 divisions to fight for that title after beating a girl who was like 2-11. So you lose and lost before, then fight a 2-11 and get rewarded with a world title fight 3 weights up. Doesn't make sense. And what gets to me is the fact that these people get chances after chances. Get granted, and congratulations to her, she won the match. But what it is like they're finding the weakest opponents to try and get these world titles, just because they want to say, oh yeah, this is a nice person, we've helped them out. In reality, you're not helping them out because you're making them jump up 3 divisions. Eventually, she's going to fight someone who is an actual super welterweight and will probably flatten her out. Another thing as well about her, she calls herself Miss GB. I don't know any Miss GB pageants she's won. As for the other fights that happened on the card, you had Amir Khan's nephew Abdul Khan fight at 2-20 in my opinion, a pointless fight. Because if you're going to fight in a pay-per-view and an undercard, I believe it should be, I'm not saying fight a world champion, I'm just saying fight someone who's got a record to justify being on the pay-per-view. Then there was these two brothers who fought on the card doing backflips for beating someone with 70 losses. It's pointless. I don't understand it. I don't get it. If you're going to showboat against someone who's at least got a positive record. Because well, when I first started off in the UK, I was doing some showboating against guys who, let's face it, they weren't very good. But in my first 3 fights, I fought a guy who was 4-0. And then when I was going abroad and I was fighting guys who I should definitely be beating, I wasn't showboating, I wasn't showing off, because you're supposed to be beating these guys up. I believe personally you should only be showboating if you've got a guy with a positive record who's coming to win. As for the rest of the undercard, there isn't really much for me to say about it. Talking about the actual card, you had like Eddie Hearn at one point saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna watch the Khan Brook fight." At the end of the day, Eddie tried making that fight for years, for nearly a decade, and now that it's on a different platform to what he runs on, he's saying, "Oh, he's not gonna watch it." But then this is the same guy as well who said he's not into YouTube boxing, but had 2 world champions and a WBA gold title fight on the undercard of a YouTuber fighting on. Actually, it was on the undercard of KSI against Jake Paul. He had Billy Joe Saunders in a world title fight and another world title fight and a WBA gold title, all on the same card. And he said he's not a fan of YouTube boxing, yet they was the main event and the world champions wasn't the main event. So to me, it sounds like Eddie Hearn's a bit of a hater. He's hating on the fact that he couldn't promote the Amir Kell Brook fight and someone else did. And he's hating the fact that someone else made multiple millions and he didn't on that fight. So yeah, there you have it. That's my reviews on the Amir Kell Brook undercard and whether Eddie Hearn's a hater or not. How about you guys? Let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. So that's it from the Prince and his championship goal today. Peace.